It wasn't exactly a big surprise that Apollo and Owensboro would become such heated rivals over these last 2 years. Heading into the 84-85 basketball season, you could see it coming with the improvement of the Apollo team and its sensational, at that time, junior class, headed up by Rex Chapman, Greg Vaughn, and Jeff Sanford, and also a key senior back on that club in Kevin Hamilton, ready to face off against an Owensboro club that was also maturing, and again it was a junior class heading the Red Devils up. Avery Taylor coming into his junior season, Marcus Robinson, and of course a super sophomore by the name of David Hogg. Still, we didn't expect it to be quite this heated that early. The first week of December 1984, Apollo and Owensboro, a regular season game, triple overtime. The Eagles won it 67-63. Rex Chapman really came of age that day, 41 points to lead the victory. Owensboro then avenged that defeat with a win in the Owensboro Invitational Tournament Championship, 94-73. Apollo came back to win their next regular season matchup in January of 1985, 73-71 in overtime. Chapman had 30. Then the district championship game a year ago, Owensboro winning it 65-63, but both teams knew they would go on to the regional, and in that regional championship it was Apollo getting 39 points from Chapman and coming from 13 points down in the fourth quarter to win a trip to the Sweet 16, 71-69. So Owensboro and Apollo went right back at it tooth and nail to start this campaign off. The 85-86 year, just where they picked off the previous season, as it went to an overtime before Apollo squeaked out a 64-62 victory. But then in the Owensboro Invitational Tournament Championship, the Red Devils were able to come back on top, Owensboro winning 65-57, and Owensboro pulled even in the two-year series at 4 wins apiece by knocking off Apollo for the second straight time when the teams met back on January 21st. 67-55 was the final there. Now, there are a lot of keys to who will win this basketball game tonight, but there's no question the biggest key wears number 3 in the blue and white uniform by the name of Rex Chapman. Owensboro knows it can't completely stop the high school All-American, but if past history from this series in the last 2 years has told us anything, it has told us that Owensboro can't afford to let Chapman go wild. In Apollo victories, the 4 wins that the Eagles have over the Red Devils over the last 2 seasons, Chapman has averaged 35 points per Apollo victory. When the Red Devils have come out on top, Chapman has been held to an average of 21 points a game. That disparity could be the big difference. If Chapman has trouble scoring, Owensboro would be expected to have the upper hand if history holds true. But if Rex can have a very big night, then the Eagles have an excellent opportunity to come away with the victory in tonight's basketball game. But obviously, there are more keys than just Rex Chapman, and it's going to be some kind of matchup, as the other 8 leading up to it have been. When we come back in just a moment here on the pregame show, we're going to be getting the opinions of the coaches and players heading into this basketball game. This is the pregame show. Owensboro and Apollo. You're seeing it live, only on Cable 2. Tip-off time just minutes away for Apollo and Owensboro, and you would think it's got to be a relief for the players. The hype's finally over. It's about time to play the basketball game. Earlier this week, WVJS Cable 2's David Wallace spent time talking with coaches and players on both teams. Here are their thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, we played 3 times, and they won the first in overtime, and we won the last 2, and it did mean a lot to win those 2 games. And we know we have to play the best we can possibly play in order to beat them again. I think Apollo and Owensboro Senior High have the two of the better teams in the state of Kentucky, and the teams that they have lost to and we've lost to have been to quality basketball teams. And they've got an excellent team. They've got a lot of experience. They've got 3 of those kids been starting for 4 years, and they're real good shooters, and they do a good job playing defense. And then they got as I said, they got a real fine team. And for us to be successful, we're going to have to play real well.
Well, I feel we're really confident about the game. The players on the team really express their confidence in practice, and to me, on the side, I believe that we'll just have to play our best that we can, and I believe that we can win. I think it'll be a good game. I think Avery's a big key to our offense. He takes up so much room inside, and he's really good around the basket. I think that's one thing that hurts him more than anything.
Well, I mean, everybody knows what to expect. We've played them out, 10 times in 2 years. I mean, that's no surprise. I mean, we know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. And it's just who does what they have to do that night. I mean, they're capable of beating us, and they know that we're capable of beating them. So it just really comes down to who plays their game that night.
Well, this is the game in the fact that the loser puts the balls up and the winner goes on to the region and possibly the state. I feel like the winner of this has a good opportunity to win the whole state.
With all the pressures and everything put on by, people, school, media, I believe we're pretty loose. I believe that, we know what we got to do, and it's just a matter of going in and, doing what we have to do to win.
It doesn't seem like that Owensboro concentrates on Rex as much because they realize that our other players can shoot the ball. I think Coach Embry's expressed his opinion on our team. He thinks that the other players on our team can shoot well. So, we'll be looking for our shots, but I think Rex is going to have his opportunity for shots too. And
it's fun playing in these games. A lot of people say that how can people so young handle the pressure and everything. There's pressure knowing that it could be your last game, but these are what we play for. To have people come out and see us and there be so much hype about the game that you couldn't ask for anything more.
The talk's over, and it's time to play basketball. Apollo and Owensboro, the starting lineups are next here on Cable 2.